Good morning to all the participants. The topic for the day is role of audit, types of audit para and its disposal, along with theme-based audit. To take you through the today's topic, we have with us Sri K. Damodar Prasad. A brief profile of Sri K. Damodar Prasad. He joined railway accounts in 1979 and entered supervisory cadre in the year 1986. He cleared Apprentice 3A exam for all the three groups and worked in all the three supervisory cadres of accounts. He has huge working experience in general accounts, workshop accounts, construction, and division accounts. Entered into the gested cadre in the year 2000 and worked in headquarters areas like pension, PF, finance establishment and expenditure, draft paras, general inspection, and budget. He has passion for teaching railway accounts, especially for Appendix 2A and 3A staff. He has been a regular visiting faculty in Ctara, DA, and other training institutes in Secunderabad and Naya. He is superannuated in the year 2014 and is now working as faculty in IRIFM. Now over to Sri K. Damodar Prasad for today's topic. Over to you, sir. Good morning and welcome to today's talk.
Very good morning. Thank you, Mani, for warm greetings and welcome speech. And welcome to all participants in this webinar. I'll be briefly telling about the role of audit and the number of audit objections, whatever we have in our day-to-day working, and then how CAG report will be prepared, what are the stages involved in that, and how the audit objections or C&AG reports are to be answered. I will show small examples related to the C&AG audit report, so that we'll have immediate reference for you to understand how these C&AG audit reports are dealt. Before starting my session, I would like to show a small clip which audit has given for me as a audit key document, key evidence in support of their draft para observations. So let us first go through that. So, have you seen the clip? I hope you may have seen the clip. Now, this clip was used as a evidence for their audit draft para, where they have given the CDs also for us along with the draft para, and their contention is regarding the time allowed for loading in a siding. What they observed is, because we are using the chutes for loading the covered wagons, the time allowed should be not manual, it is mechanical. So this is how they prepare the audit reports that we will see later on. But now let us see let us go into the role of audit. So the Controller and Auditor General of India, as we knew, he is the supreme audit authority in in India, and in railways, he will be assisted by uh, Deputy C&AG I Railways, or normally we call him as DAI Railways. And this Controller and Auditor General of India post itself, it is in our finance code, it was clearly mentioned that it is created sui generis. Sui generis means uniquely this was created. That uniqueness is because of the creation, because of its creation as per Constitution article. So as per a Constitution article, an organization which is created, we call it as a constitutional body. This is against the statutory body. The statutory body is the body which was created as a result of a statute passed in Parliament. That is different. And this body, like Controller and Auditor General of India, we have Chief Election Commission also. So these are the organizations created as a result of the provisions of the Constitution. So as per Article 148 of the Constitution of India, this the organization has been created. What for this organization has been created? Because this organization has to give its report duly going through the accounts of the union government, state legislatures, union territories, and then on behalf of common man, how the funds or taxpayers' money is utilized. Similarly, as regards the receipts also, what are the provisions that were there, and whether those, as according to those provisions, the receipts are being accounted for or not. So this is the Supreme Audit Authority main function that was enshrined. Now, where are the functions that were given? So the functions, what they are supposed to do, it was given in Article 149 to 151. So this 149 to 151, what does it say? What does it say? First one is, it is the duty of the C&AG to audit the receipts and expenditure. So 149, it says that means any money that was taken by an organization or given to an organization, say from Consolidated Fund of India. So that, because that is the taxpayer money, so that organization automatically will be audited by C&AG organization. And 150 next article, it says that the form of accounts of the union government or state government or union territory, how it should be done. It will be prescribed by C&AG, and the president will tell that yes, you have to follow this form and this classification, and accordingly we have to follow. So this is the form and classification will be decided by C&AG. So that is why in, you may have observed that in appropriation accounts, one statement will be sending to audit that whatever changes in forms and classification carried out during the year, that will be reflected in that particular statement. So if anything we have done without their knowledge, then they will find out, and then they will give their comments. So that is Article 150. Then 151, that is most important as far as the audit functioning is concerned, because they may have examined our accounts, but finally it has to be reported to whom? Reported to the public. So reported to the public means reported to the Parliament. So when the report is tabled before Parliament, we can say that the findings of the C&AG are in public domain. So when they are in public domain, they can be discussed. The various outcomes. So you may have seen in Bofors or Spectrum or Rafale deal, so many items, or for that matter, even in railway, suppose catering policy, on catering policy, how we have done. So these things will be widely discussed. So taxpayer money, where we are spending, whether the purpose for which they were given, whether we are doing it or not, if anything wrong that is done, they will point out those mistakes also. So this is how the functions are enshrined. One more important point is that whether the function of C&AG can be taken out or additional function can be given. No, absolutely. It has to be done with the approval of Parliament only. Without that, no function can be taken out from him and no function can be attached to him. That is one of the structure, that is basic structure of the this Supreme Audit Authority of India. Then their duties and powers, they were given, this is DPC, or duties, powers and conditions. Remember these. So these are enshrined in Act 56 of 1971, and later on it was amended to 58 with amendment of 58 of 1976. So here the duties are given. So according to those duties only, that can be the C&AG organization will function. Mostly the duties are to be summed up. We can say that compilation of accounts is one. That means compilation of accounts of union government and state governments and union territories. That is the duty of C&AG. However, you may be getting a doubt. Sir, in railways, we'll be doing the compilation of accounts. Yes, absolutely right. When Audit committee recommended that this separation, the railway accounts department and audit should be bifurcated. Previously, in those times, the railway used to be under AG Railways. So when the two departments were separated, accounts and audit functions were separated, the accounts were under the then financial commissioner, and now what we call it as member finance. Then later on, the compilation was retained with the railways only. This is the peculiarity of the railway system, railway accounting system. Whereas the C&AG organization, that is railway audit department, was given the function of scrutiny of the accounts. Whatever we submit to them, they have to scrutinize, or whatever inspections they have to carry out, they will carry out, and whatever reports they compile, they send it to us. And the appropriation accounts, whatever we have given, those appropriation accounts will be scrutinized by them. So this scrutiny only was given, whereas the compilation of the accounts, it was entirely left with the railways only. That is the important function. Then another one is audit of accounts. So this, what will they do? It is the expenditure from Consolidated Fund of India. If anything is there, that the money has been actually spent on the same purpose or not. If not, some reappropriations we may have done. So whether those reappropriations have been done under proper authority. And one more thing is, they also check whether the funds that were made available, they were legally available. So legally available means as per the constitution, whether the approval of Parliament has been taken, or vote of Parliament has been taken, or the sanction of President of India has been taken. So all these things they will verify. So this is one. And next one is expenditure conforms to the authority which governs it. So the authority which has spent that, whether he is having power or not, that is with reference to SOP they will do. And the transactions related to contingency fund and public account also they will scrutinize. So then trading, manufacturing and stores accounts they will scrutinize. Then all the transactions related to receipts So transaction means both disbursements and receipts. So receipts also, whether whatever tariff is there, according to that tariff, whether we are collecting it or not. So that also they will check, because the money, whatever we have collected, it will be going into Consolidated Fund of India. So this is one that is, and one more important point is that what are the rules and regulations, and whether those rules and regulations are properly implemented, and whatever internal check what we do, it is sufficient. It can unearth whatever problems are there. Those problems can be, or frauds, if any happen, whether the accountant system or internal checking system can it detect such frauds. So all these things, and the accounts that are maintained, whether they are in proper format, that is prescribed heads they are operating or not, because we knew that we are government concerned as well as commercial undertaking. So now whatever requirements are there towards commercial accounting, whether we are doing, and whatever 6-tier basic structure of government accounting is there, major heads, minor heads, sub heads, sub major heads, detailed heads. So whether, and primary unit. So this is called 6-tier. This we tell it as a 6-tier government accounting system. So whether we are following that or not, they will do that. So, and one more important point is that there is no leakage of revenue or unnecessary expenditure we are not incurring. So these things will be scrutinized by audit. So this is audit of accounts. Then finally, the audit report. So compilation of the audit report, as far as the railway organization is concerned, it rests with the DAI, Deputy Controller and Auditor General of India Railways. He will be working for and on behalf of C&AG. As far as railways are concerned, he will be doing, and the compilation of audit reports, this duty completely rests with Deputy C&AG Railways. So he while preparing these reports, they have got the liberty to call for the oral evidence and elicit information. They can question, and they can take written answers. So everything, these powers are there with them. So this is how it will be done. And the in-charge officer, whoever is there, when they come for inspection, or if they want some information to be given, all that has to be provided, and we cannot cause any hindrance to their working. If we are causing hindrance to their working, that means we are not allowing them to do their constitutional function. Similarly, suppose some records have to be given, suppose some secret document has to be given, or some confidential document has to be given, please give. Only thing is, you take Xerox copies and then keep with you, inform your superior officer, and then take that, and then the original file, how many, what is this? Is it a secret file or it is a confidential file? How many folios are there? Everything you Xerox it, keep it with them. Original file you can give, so that your other work can be done without any problem or delay. So this is how it should be done. Suppose if you won't give, what will happen? Suppose some demurrage and warfare files, whatever remission were given, sometimes commercial department will not give. So, or some voucher requisition will be there. So that voucher requisition, suppose our accounts department has not complied with, then all those mandates, they will be calculating, and they will take certification from our accounts department stating that these many mandates, because of the not making available those documents, these many mandates have been lost. So we can, all this can be avoided. So as I was making a mention, CAGI, it is the apex body, and for and on behalf of him, under his guidance and control, Deputy CAGI or DAI we call him. So he will be working, and he will be assisted by DG Railways and DG Railway Board. and at the zonal level, principal director of audit and or director general of audit. Nowadays, it is also being called. So director general of audit or principal director of audit will be there, and director of audits or deputy directors, senior audit officers, assistant audit officers, and auditors. This is the organizational setup in the railways as far as C&AG organization is concerned. Having known about this, now some people sometimes in the examination also they will be asking, audit is a fifth wheel, please comment. Or do you think that because the accounts organization is functioning efficiently in railway, can audit department be dispensed with? For which we have to say that constitutional provisions we have to invoke, because the organization, it is not a, it is created out of a constitutional authority. It is a constitutional body. Therefore, its functions cannot be belittled or it cannot be dispensed with. Then what happens to the accounts department? Accounts department, at the best, it is the management, part of management. It gives the financial accountant or management accountant role will be doing. As any organization will have these two posts, we do that. We render financial advice, we do account keeping. So this is the main difference between the accounts department of railways and the C&AG organization. And so by invoking constitutional provisions, you can emphatically say that it cannot be dispensed with. And one more point is, their duty is ex post facto. Normally we call it as ex post facto, whereas our duty is concurrent. All our check will be 100% pre-check. What they do is, after the event is over, they take files, they take our vouchers, and then they do the check, or they go for inspection, take files, and then they do check. This is how they do. But what we do is internal check, and it is pre-check. Before the event takes place, they come for concurrence, and before the claim will be sent to us, and claim also will be checked, and payment will be arranged. In between, our finance members will be there in the tender committees. So all these things will be there. Whether any work, if it is not coming in the pre-check, we will do post-check. And we have post-check provisions also, where FNCO or PFA has said that these many, because the number of transactions are, volume is less, so therefore let us give post-check, then we will do post-check. So for example, our impressed cash, we are doing post-check. It is not pre-check. The payment will be arranged, then we will be checking that and recouping. So this is how we will be doing. So by this, why accounts and why audit? So this you should be in a position to clearly imprint in your mind. Even executive, when they say, sometimes in the meetings also, they may say that नहीं ये पूरा काम अगर उन्हें करे तो उसको पता चलेगा. क्यों उन्हें करना? काम करने के वास्ते हम हैं. We are executive people. So our job is to do the job, and their job is not to do your job. Their job is to find fault with the system. So therefore, we should appreciate and we should tell the executive that no, it is their job is entirely different. After all, where from they are taking the material? They are taking the material from our records. After all, where from, with reference to what they are checking? They are checking with reference to our codes, with reference to our code instructions, with reference to our manuals, with reference to our instructions. Who has given all these? It is we. It is we have written that I will do POH in so many days. What they will be questioning? Why you could not do in so many days? That's all. Or you have done POH, but that was not made available to the open line organization for utilization. Why there was delay? These are all the things that they will question. So any leakage, this is how they will do. Their job is meant for such thing only. So we have to appreciate, and please let the executive also, if anywhere any comment is there, we have to take C&AG organization as a guiding factor only. If any mistake is done, yes, we are there to rectify them. After all, what they are doing, they are focusing, they are making the searchlight and then showing here there is a problem. So you look at it, and then whatever possible thing is there, you do it. Otherwise, you say that yes, this cannot be done. So this is how the audit reports will be replying. I'll come to that later, but why I'm telling is the significance of audit, it can be seen by the status of that C&AG also. If you look at the C&AG, he will be, of course, a ex-IAS officer will be there, and he will be under the seal and signature of President of India, he will be appointed, and he will be on par with Supreme Court judge. That means if you even if you want to remove him, on par with Supreme Court judge, how the action has to be taken, similar action has to be taken. It cannot be because he is finding fault, because finding fault is his job. So can I remove? No, it cannot be done, because he is having the status of the Supreme Court judge. And one more point is salary, retirement, pension benefits, whatever is there, they cannot be changed adversely, which will affect adversely to the incumbent. So during the tenure, you cannot touch his salary, retirement benefits, and pension benefits. You can say, no, I will cut 10%. No, it is not possible. Afterwards, yes, you can do, but during his tenure, it cannot be done. Then he cannot be, after demitting the office, he cannot work under government. He cannot take any salary from Government of India. That we call it as office of profit. No office of profit he'll be taking under government. So these are all the protection that is given in the Constitution. And one more point, you will observe that all his administrative expenses, they are not subject to vote of Parliament. Our pay and allowances are subject to vote of Parliament. His administrative expenses, they are not subject to vote of Parliament. Tomorrow I cannot say, no, I will not pay. No, it is not possible, because the administrative expenses of C&AG, in the code itself, it was written that they are to be treated as charged expenditure. So when it is charged expenditure, it is sanctioned by President. Even though we take from Consolidated Fund of India, it is not voted expenditure. It is charged expenditure. So this is how we have to treat. So all these are the protection that is given by Constitution, because they have to give a free and fair view of the events that are taking place in the organization, in the government. Then when we too have took oath of office when we joined the railways, C&AG also will take oath of office. What he will say, under Constitution, I will protect the Constitution. Without free or ill will, I will work. That is the oath of office. And protect the Constitution, uphold the Constitution. That is what it is written. So he will do that. So all these things, it will help the C&AG to write freely and fairly, without fear or without favor, without ill will. He can do the reporting system. And most importantly, the scope and extent of audit, it is entirely left to him. Suppose it is a theme-based report on a particular topic. If they take on all India level, how it will be done, how many years it should be done, or how much money value should be there, everything it is left to C&AG organization. Suppose it is a draft para, how many years they have to check, and how much money value worth should be there in that audit objection. It is left to them. And what are the topics they have to be selected? It is left to them. So this is how they do their check. But whatever, suppose any particular policy, if they want to do, yes, they do the policy check, and then that policy check, and all over India, all over Indian Railways, if they want to do, they conduct the performance audit. So when they do the performance audit, they will conduct entry conference, they will conduct exit conference, entry conference level, at AGM level, they will conduct, and all our PHOD or HODs they will attend, and then whatever cooperation that is required they will seek, and what are the objectives with which that particular topic was taken they will discuss, and all the templates will be ready by that time, and they'll tell this within these 3 months or 4 months we have to complete. So definitely all possible extent of help that is required from railway we will be extending, and then by end of the 4 months or 5 months they'll complete the report. And then they will seek, we want to hold exit conference. So this entry conference and exit conference, these are the hallmark of the performance audit. They'll do that, and then they give the report, and suppose our PHODs say something, and they will take that also into view, and then they'll give theme-based audit report or performance audit report. And these theme-based audit reports or performance audit reports, the Railway Board already made it clear that they should be dealt on par with draft para. So this is how it will be done. Then, so that is why this audit C&AG, it is independent, it presents free and fair view of events, and it is a constitutional requirement. It cannot be just brushed aside. And one more point is that the C&AG organization, it assists the PSC in examining the government accounts, because our government accounts are scrutinized by C&AG organization, and the parliamentary control, it has to be completed. So that circle has to be completed. Therefore, whatever we have spent or whatever reports they have generated, and out of that, a few items will be selected by PSC, and they may ask for oral evidence of higher officials. They accept that, and based on that, they give the report also. So that report of PSC, it is recommendatory in nature. It is not mandatory. It is recommendatory in nature, and the respective ministries, they will go into the recommendations. पूरा पढ़ने के बाद क्या करना है, अगर कुछ हमारा जो इंफॉर्मेशन जो इंस्ट्रक्शंस है वो चेंज करना, हमारा कोडल प्रोविजंस चेंज करना, जो पॉलिसी रेलवे को नुकसान कर रही तो चेंज बदलना. So these are all the things that always will keep in mind when we study the PSC reports. Okay, so DJI, I said that of course this organization we have given, and their responsibility is almost C&AG responsibility only, preparing audit report for railway. This already I told. So the object of statutory audit is that whatever system that is available in railway, it is suitable. Then internal checking mechanism is sufficient. That means it will unearth the frauds that may take place. Then efficient maintenance of accounts. Then financial interests of the railway are protected. That means there are systems are in place. And then this objective, it will be achieved by means of two ways. One is by doing the voucher check. They give requisition. We knew that we are having in our railway codes, it was clearly mentioned the periodicity of destruction of old records, and each of the document, each of the voucher for how much period we have to preserve. So that when an instrument has been paid, then that will become a voucher. So that voucher preservation is our responsibility. So all the vouchers they will take because from accounts department, because once payment is done, then the voucher will come back to accounts and we will be preserving. Our record sorter will immediately give that voucher to them. All the requisitions, it is our responsibility to see that the vouchers, whatever requisition by audit, they are given. Then they will check, and if any mistakes are there, they will communicate those mistakes. Similarly, another method through which they get this object of statutory audit, whatever I have told, they will be doing through inspections. They go to the inspection various offices. So how do they go? They go to the offices by means of they draw the program, just like in our accounts department how we draw the inspection program. They also draw the program by month of January or so. So before that, we will write it to all the executives how many offices were closed and how many new offices have come up, so that information will be given. So there are instructions even in our accounts, for our accounts department also there are some instructions. So as soon as a new office has come, so that has to be visited by our accounts team within 3 months, because we have to guide them. And in our accounts team also, senior section officers who are experienced, they will be sent to that office to guide them. So these are the same thing. Even audit also, when a new office come up, they may select that office for inspection. Whenever this inspection program, they will send it to accounts department also. And in accounts department, we will also have by that time our accounts program also ready to take the approval of PFA. So we will see that same office is not being inspected by audit as well as our accounts team. So generally we will change our program, and then later on in the next month or so, that program we will be keeping, and then accordingly their program will be vetted by us. Then that inspection will be done. As far as the inspection is concerned, whatever facilities we have to provide, those facilities need to be provided. And we will be, our accounts department will be the licensing department between executive and accounts department. So whenever they want to go for inspection, they will write a letter, and we will also advise the executive. And at the end of the day, they will be giving draft observation slips. And before the team leaves, if they give reply, they will not point out, or otherwise they will point out in their inspection reports. So this is how it will be done. So having said that, when they do the audit, you knew whenever any proposal comes, we will view with finance angle. Suppose any file is taken by vigilance department, they will go for vigilance angle. Similarly, suppose you send for legal vetting, they view it in legal angle. Similarly, whenever you send whenever audit taken up, they view with audit angle. So what is this audit angle? What is the purpose they have? That is threefold purpose they have. One is accountancy audit. That means arithmetical accuracy of the vouchers or documents, whatever the vouchers are there, they will verify that. Any mistake is there, they will point out. Another one is administrative audit. किसका sanction लेना है, किसका sanction लिया, नहीं तो ये वो भी लोअर अथॉरिटी के रूप अंदर आने के वास्ते उन्हें स्प्लिट किया होगा. सेम वर्क with the name change or station change, they may have given. So that also they will point out. So administrative audit they will do. So for that purpose, it is necessary to instruct for instructions not required, but the executive office duly they follow, and in accounts office also, wherever sanctions we give, we will follow that. The sanction is marked to audit department. That is most important. Then third purpose is appropriation audit. This is as a part of parliamentary control, reporting back to Parliament. So whether the money has been spent on the same purpose, and the reappropriations, if any done, they have been done correctly, and there are no irregular wherever some excess expenditure is incurred, and that has to be regularized. So that will be done through appropriation audit. So these are the threefold purpose that is done, and audit is done on sanctions, as already said, then tenders, accounts and records and reports, and initial records of the executive offices. And one more important point is the expenditure of our railway audit. It will be a miscellaneous expenditure. So under measure head 3001, this will be projected, and for railway audit, we will be the associate finance for arranging payments. Then if the communications from audit, normally we call them as, collectively we call them as audit objections. All of you aware what are the audit objections? Number one, special letter, any matter of importance, and if they want to take up this particular matter to a higher level, then they will write as a special letter, and it will be addressed to general manager and copy to PFA invariably, and later on copy to the concerned executive also they will be giving, and we have to give importance to the special letter, and proper reply also we have to keep that. It is a potential case for draft para. Then in such cases you have to be very, very careful while sending the reply to audit, or executive also, they should be careful while giving reply to special letter. So, okay, once you give satisfactory reply, then we will be getting closure advice from them. It is only, they highlight only one aspect only of the objection. Then audit notes. Second one is audit note. This audit note is given as a result of the audit objection taken on the vouchers taken from our railway accounts department. जो भी वोचेस लेते हैं रिक्विजिशन के रूप में लेते हैं, तो वो चेक करके उसमें कुछ गलतियां हैं. Some amount has to be recovered, we have not recovered, or some arithmetical inaccuracy is there, because of that some loss was there. So such things will be advised to accounts department in the form of audit note. Audit note will be part 1 and part 2. Serious irregularity part 1, minor procedure lapses part 2. Inspection reports, they are the reports that were given as a result of the inspections carried out in the executive department. So part 1, major irregularity, and part 2, here also minor irregularity, that means procedural lapses, or some register to be maintained, not maintained, वैसा जो भी है वो point out करेगा part 2 में. Part 1, financial irregularities. Okay. Part 2, audit inspection reports, they can be closed by our accounts department itself. We need not send it to accounts, sorry, we need not send it to audit department for closure advice. We ourselves should get the reply and then get it closed. This is how it should be done. Then a reply to audit objection, whatever is there, because these audit objections are monitored at various levels. Part 1 and part 2, as I said, can be discussed by railways only, and initial reply within 30 days it should be sent. We should get from the department, the executive, and whenever rejoinder is issued. What is rejoinder? On the reply given by executive, if more observations are made by audit, we call them as rejoinder. So that rejoinder reply should be given within 7 days, and if that is not being followed, then we will be holding bipartite meetings. We'll be doing bipartite meetings, tripartite meetings, even with audit also. We will be holding meetings, bipartite meetings with audit and accounts, or with executive and accounts. But everywhere our accounts department will be there. It will act as a license department. And one more important point, whenever they give reply, that reply should not go directly to audit, and audit also will not communicate directly to them. Everything, it will be routed through our accounts department. Then one more point is, whenever the audit objections record, it will be maintained by accounts department. It is not the matter of other government department, other executive. He will not maintain. He will be having his own. But overall, how many audit objections are pending, department wise or age wise? That means year wise. If anyone, we have to maintain the records, and then obtaining the replies and putting up and sending to audit. Entire responsibility lies with accounts department only. Then destruction of old records, whatever they are there, wherever audit objection is there, you should not destroy it. We keep them separately. Then whenever audit objection is there and that payment has to be arranged later on also, then you tell the contractor or supplier that I am making provisional payment. If the audit objection is closed to the satisfaction, then continuation will be there. Otherwise, we will be recovering. So that is why provisional payment. And all the rectifications in para 927 or so of accounts department, they are clearly written. The rectification of mistakes that were pointed out by audit, it has to be done. It has to be. Yes, please.
Sir, could I mute all the participants?
Please, please.
And at the end, we will
some disturbance we are getting. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So this rectification of mistakes, whatever pointed out by audit or whatever mistakes ourselves, that means in our accounts department itself, when you get, then.
Sir, please unmute, sir. Please unmute and continue. Sir, please click left side audio, sir. In the screen, left side audio is there.
Okay, right. Now I got it. Okay. So whatever rectification of mistakes are there. So those mistakes pointed out by audit or pointed out by our own accounts department, we have to rectify them. And there are provisions are there. Suppose the accounts are not closed, how we should do? If accounts are closed and if revenue head to revenue head, if change is required, what we are supposed to do? And if it is between capital and revenue, how we should do? Everything it is written there, and we have to follow that. Then whenever you are doing the rectifications and you need to have funds, means you should ask funds also under that particular proper head. Without that, you cannot do. So that you please remember that. Then one more important point is the recoveries made at the instance of audit. In 2017-18, I saw the report, around 193 crores were pointed out as recoveries made at the instance of audit. Out of that, please remember this, out of that, around 93 crores or so, it is on those items which were checked by accounts department. That means those 193 crores or 100 crores, it involves that the accounts department failure is also there, because those items have come within the purview of internal check. So internal check failure is there. So that is very, very major problem, and we have to rectify, or any system loopholes are there, either in IPAS or manually, whatever we are doing. If any mistakes are there, that always we have to redress them, and we have to see that those loopholes are not perpetuating. We have to plug them. So that is our responsibility. Then the replies to audit observations, always I said that meetings will be held, and any document also we can give, and to the point their reply should be, that always we will ensure. And the coordinated approach is most important for our audit objections to be closed. And railway board, audit objections also railway board will monitor. And at zonal level, AGM level, this audit objection closure will be monitored. And at divisional level, DRM level, Synod FM level, it will be monitored through MPRs also. Okay. Then any help is required from executive, we should take, and then whatever information reply we give, it should be authoritative statement of fact. Please remember this. Wishy-washy reply diye to wo काम नहीं चलेगा. It should be authoritative statement. That means tomorrow they should not find fault that, sir, you said that the recovery was commenced in the month of January and you have given reply and recovery was not commenced. So that is why any reply coming from executive, we should not just forward. We have to verify and then only we should forward that reply to audit. That is most important. Having said this, now let me go to audit report. This audit report is most important function under Article 151. So that is the most important function which we have, which DAI Railway he will do, and he will be assisted in for audit report. He will be assisted by Director General of Audit or PDS. The audit reports, they can be classified mostly, we can say regularity audit or compliance audit. So any mistake, it is localized, then they will give as a regularity audit, compliance audit. And chapter 6 is reserved for railways, and any audit objection, audit report on railway, normally in the C&AG report, chapter number 6, railway objections will be found. So when it is a compliance report or regularity audit report, there the railway reference will be given, gist para number will be given, and gist of the objection will be given, and detailed way it will be given. So this is about audit report, compliance audit or regularity audit. Then one more type of report is there, classification. It is performance audit report. I said the performance audit report is on the policy that will be done. And I said entry conference, exit conference, all those things will be given. And one more type is IT audit. That is whatever IT initiatives, whatever you take, say IPAS or UTS or PRS, whatever you take. So they do IT audit and then the mistakes, whatever they are there, they will find out. And most importantly, our financial health of the organization also they will comment. So I said, DJ, okay, entry conference already I told. So this audit report, how many stages will be there? How a objection will become a audit para in the audit report? Do they give any opportunity to railway, or just straight away they will include in the audit report of the railways? No. Normally they give opportunity, sufficient opportunity they give. How it will be done? Now let us see. Then later on I will show one particular example from DP stage to AP stage, how that was evolved, that I will show. Now, then later on I will take questions from you. Thank you. So the first stage of the audit report is draft para. This draft para will come from either Principal Director of Audit or we can call Director General of Audit. So he will send one copy invariably to Deputy DAI Railway, who is at Railway Board level. So he will inform him. Then this draft paragraph will come from PDA, and this reply to draft paragraph, it is not a reply that can be given just like a special letter or just like a audit inspection report part 1 or part 2 or audit note. It is not that way. It is specifically designed in such a way only we have to give reply. First and foremost is 6 weeks time is given for giving a reply. So within the 6 weeks of the receipt of it, we have to give reply, and that will be with the personal approval of personal approval of PHOD and personal approval of general manager. That is most important. Why? I told you that any item of the audit report, it can be picked by PAC. When it is picked by PAC and they take oral evidence from high officials. So therefore, PHOD approval and GM's personal approval is a must. Then I said a fixed pro forma is there in which we have to send a reply for draft para. It is all the draft para, all the audit observation, it has to be bifurcated into sentences. So sentence-wise comments, sentences will be there on the left side and our remarks will be in juxtaposition, हमें देना है right side. And not only that, we have to give certain annexures. What is audit contention? एक annexure. हमारा रेलवे का डिफेंस क्या होता है? एक कंटेंशन, ये एक annexure. हमारा chronology of the events, एक annexure. Remedial action to be taken or disciplinary action to be taken, एक annexure. वैसा कुछ annexures है, वो पूरा annexures देना ही पड़ेगा. Without that, we will not accept. And that reply will be putting up to general manager, and then that reply after, and one more thing is, this is the reply from general manager. We should think that way. So no departmental, no, this is not my job and this is electrical job. No, that way it is not at all possible for us to tell. So if it is pertaining to some portion is there for electrical department, let engineering people, they have to get from electrical department and then incorporate in their reply. Because railway as a whole, we have to see and then give reply. So we will be getting and then sending reply to PDA. But while sending reply to PDA, we will also keep railway board informed. So that reply, our reply to draft para, it will be there with railway board also. Then later on, the principal director of audit or director general of audit, they will examine, and if they feel that our reply is, they also go through and they will also make out that yes, it is there, they have given reply, but however, it is not tenable. What for it is not tenable, they will also make a mention there. And then if it is not satisfactory, then you will not get any reply. But at DI level, there will be some minor modifications they may make and then send it as a provisional para. So that provisional para will come from railway board. So for provisional para reply, we will be getting 2 weeks time only. Here also, that provisional para has to be sentence wise, it has to be bifurcated, and juxtaposition we have to give reply. And then here also PHOD approval is required and GM approval is required. But only missing thing is these annexures under draft para, whatever they are there, that is not required. And sometimes, so here 2 weeks time, that means total 8 weeks time is given. So for provisional para, whatever reply we give, we will not give to PDA or Director General, we will send it to railway board only. So railway board, whatever action they have to do, suppose some instructions they have to reiterate, they will reiterate. Or if a particular scheme to be shelved, they will shelve it. And in the reply, they will be telling that, and then they will be sending provisional para reply. But I saw their audit objection report. We are doing exceedingly well as far as railways are concerned. We are doing even provisional para reply before the provisional para converted into audit para. For many, almost 70 to 80% of the replies from railway board they have gone. The statistics are available with me. So from railway side, we are 100%. We are giving replies, and they are incorporating. Suppose any reply if you are given, then they will say for provisional para, railway board has given reply and it is not tenable. Or if they are satisfied, they will not pursue further. Draft para stage, if the PDA is satisfied, they will not pursue further. No closure advice will come. However, I want to tell you, suppose on a same topic, another special letter was given and that was converted into draft para, then you can ask PDA to close the special letter. Statistical purposes, they will close it. If it is on the same topic, on the same subject, then provisional para, so the reply will go with the GM approval to railway board. Then, if this, that means one more मौका भी दे चुके हैं, एक ड्राफ्ट पैरा के रूप में और दूसरा प्रोविजनल पैरा के रूप में, और तीसरा ये दोनों मौके होने के बाद अगर ऑडिट ने सेटिस्फाई नहीं हुआ, then they will also say railway has replied or railway has not replied. Railway has replied but it is not tenable. ऐसा देख के एक audit para बनाते हैं. So that is audit para that will be in the audit report. Railways chapter number 6 पे लगाया. So that report it will be tabled before Parliament. And this audit para, तो अभी क्या हुआ? Caterpillar, pupa और बटरफ्लाई हो गया. सो दो मौके देते हैं और तीसरा मौके नहीं होता है. ऑडिट पैरा हो चुके. सो फॉर ऑडिट पैरा देयर इज ए वन फिक्स्ड प्रोफार्मा इज देयर फॉर एक्शन टेकन नोट. सो दैट एक्शन टेकन नोट ओनली पैरा वाइज रिमार्क्स ओनली वी विल बी गिविंग. दैट इज व्हाट इज चैप्टर नंबर, पैरा नंबर कितना है और जिस्ट ऑफ द ऑडिट ऑब्जेक्शन क्या है और डू द मिनिस्ट्री एग्री. अगर नहीं तो क्या रिमार्क्स है, वो रिमार्क्स पैरावाइज रिमार्क्स हम देते हैं. एंड दैट विल बी डन एंड देन दैट ATN विल बी सेंट टू रेलवे बोर्ड. एंड फ्रॉम रेलवे बोर्ड इफ दे वांट टू ऐड एनीथिंग दे विल आल्सो ऐड समथिंग, और अदरवाइज इट विल गो टू C&AG, that is deputy DAI. So DAI if they accept it then scene thanks बोल के हमारे को भेजते. और दूसरा कुछ कमेंट्स है वो कमेंट्स भी देते हैं. नहीं तो अच्छा 4 लाख का डिफरेंस है, ये 4 लाख भी रिकवरी करो बोलना है. सो दैट आल्सो दे विल डू दैट. देन लेटर ऑन दैट एक्शन टेकन नोट एज इट इज, इट विल कम टू द रेलवे. And in railway also what we do is in headquarters again to the departments we will be sending where from I got the reply. So this is how it will be done. Suppose those ATNs were selected, out of them some ATN was selected by PAC, then that scrutiny after taking oral evidences etc, they do the scrutiny and then they give report. PAC will give report. So those reports also as far as railways are concerned हमें बहुत बेहतर अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, especially in the form of ATN or action taken report of there is report on the PAC report also we have to give action taken report. हमारा ऑडिट पैरे के ऊपर हमें एक्शन टेकन नोट देना पड़ता है. और अगर कुछ ना कुछ एक एक्शन टेकन नोट चुन लिया बाय PAC, then they will give the report. If they give the report on that, for that we have to give reply. That reply we call it as remedial action taken report. PAC report के ऊपर जो भी हमें रिप्लाई देते हैं we call it as action taken report, remedial action taken report or corrective action taken report. So this is how it will be done. And with that the audit report is over. Now I will tell you, I will show one, I said just 5 minutes, I'll show one example right from draft para stage up to action taken note, how we traveled, that I will show. One example I have taken, I'll show. See, this is the audit report. That means already I said chapter 6 में छुपा होता है. So audit para 6.1 chapter 6 में है. So chapter 6 में report number 14 पे ये छपा हुआ है. वो ये है कि आप देख सकते हैं साउथ सेंट्रल रेलवे का ये नॉन रिकवरी बहुत सारे रेलवेज में होते होगा. साउथ सेंट्रल रेलवे नॉन रिकवरी ऑफ सब्सक्रिप्शन टुवर्ड्स NPS 77 lakhs, इक्वल अमाउंट ऑफ मैचिंग कंट्रीब्यूशन ये नहीं हुआ. सो इनिशियली हाउ इट वाज डन एंड फाइनली ऑडिट पैरा ऐसे रूप में आ गया. तो हमें क्या किया ऐसा अभी बटरफ्लाई, ये तो बटरफ्लाई हो गया। सो इसके ऊपर क्या आता है, एक्शन टेकन नोट होना है। सो वो भी मैं दिखाता हूं पहले। See, this is the draft para, first stage. You can see 2016 पे draft para हुआ। So draft para में ये GM को एड्रेस किया है, और बाद में PHODs को गए, और वो कौन सा एग्जीक्यूटिव है वो एग्जीक्यूटिव को भी गया है। And for each and everything, whatever they say, they give key document देते हैं, and they said that so much for 146 people or so, we have not recovered the NPS subscription. ये तो ड्राफ्ट पैरा बन चुके हैं। तो ड्राफ्ट पैरा हमें क्या किया, हमें रिप्लाई भी दिया। You can see the draft para reply. I said with GM approval I will be giving. So I took the GM approval, and क्या है उसमें I will tell you. So एक तो मैं बोला sentence wise. So this is the sentence wise comments. Okay. So क्या है हमें बता दिया, और उसको annexures भी रहते हैं। क्या annexures रहते हैं? Annexure ये sentence wise remarks. Annexure B में brief history of the case. ये तो पहले का। दूसरे का ऑडिट कंटेंशन इन ब्रीफ। तीसरे का क्रोनोलॉजी इवेंट समरी। पांचवा डिसिप्लिनरी एस्पेक्ट्स इफ एनी इन्वॉल्व्ड। देन करेक्टियल और रेमेडियल एक्शन व्हाट इज टेकन। सो हमें जेपीओ इश्यू किया तो वो बारे बता दिया। और बाकी का लास्ट वन इज रेलवे डिफेंस इन ऑडिट कंटेंशन। हमें कुछ भी डिफेंस नहीं है, खाली अंग्रेजी लिखे हैं। तो दिस इज हाउ दैट the reply to audit has been given. Then बाद में क्या होता है, now I will be getting a provisional para. So provisional para 21, yeah. So this is provisional para 21 2017 में आया। So this provisional para, I said that I will be giving approval from GM, and I will be giving reply in the form of sentence wise remarks. See.
Yeah, participants, please wait. Faculty is logging again. Please wait.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, sir. Please
Yeah,
comment.
yeah. Where is PP? Yeah. So this is, sorry for the interruption. So this is the action to be taken by Railway Board. So they took that action because they have advised all the general managers to go through their problems, and then any such a problem is there, that is in getting the SF1 or CRA not giving the number, PRAN number, etc., etc. So they have to take some action. So that is what it was given, duly quoting that provisional. So in the provisional para reply also, 21 हो चुके हैं. Then draft. So audit para already I told you. So this is the this is the draft ATN. Normally, whatever ATN we send, action taken note for the audit para, which I showed in the beginning. So for that, we have to give reply. So within 4 weeks, we have to give reply. So as soon as the audit report is tabled before Parliament, and then we have to download our portion of the audit objections and then prepare the action taken note. So that action taken note, we call it as a draft action. So that draft action taken note will be giving, and then that, see, this is the fixed pro forma, and in this pro forma only will be giving, and then parawise remarks will be giving. That's all. So this is how it will be done for the action taken note. So after giving that action taken note, I will tell the vetted draft action taken note. I told that the Railway Board will be sending draft action taken note to Deputy DAI. So that DAI also, see, this is here, no draft will be there. It is, sorry. So here, no draft will be there. It is action taken note. So what we have done, all those things we have explained. See the beauty of it. They verified, but qualifying verification they have given. What the qualifying verification, what they have given? Audit further, that means वो होने के बाद, वो division पे वो होने के बाद, और दूसरे जगह पे 15 lakh अभी बाकी है. So audit further observed that these are the units that where recovery is in arrears. So we have to give reply to that also. Till such time, they will show that further action is required from railway. So this is how, right from DP stage to draft action stage, these are the things that we will be doing. So I hope covered almost all the aspects, and I am ready now to take your questions. Nashra Garu, you can unmute them.
Sir, okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, participants, all are unmuted. You can ask queries to faculty.
Dear participants, I am now ready to take your questions on this audit objections, audit report, further action, what is to be taken by us, what is the difference between action taken note and action taken report, all those things I discussed. Now I am ready to take your questions.
Sir, answer please.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Sir, please tell how do you write an answer for theme-based audit 5 marks? What are
5 marks. You can say they will select, the audit will select on a particular topic like environmental policy or the cleanliness in coaches or catering policy in railway. So likewise, they take one theme and all over the railway, all the railways, they will advise the audit people. They advise them to go through and find out their findings, and they will select samples also, and they survey and everything they will take, and then they give the report. That type of report, normally it is performance audit report only, but based on a theme they have selected. So therefore, we call them as theme-based audit report also. Railway Board very categorically said that even theme-based report also, even if they give like that, we should treat it as a draft para only. That means whatever formality that we follow for a draft para, that honor, that privilege, we have to extend to theme-based audit report also. Yes, please.
Sir, function of PSC, sir.
Louder, please.
Functions of PSC, sir. PSC का कार्य क्या है सर?
PSC का?
जी जी जी।
हाँ ठीक है। ये PSC ये तो हमें पार्लियामेंट्री कंट्रोल के रूप में पैसे तो हमें पहले एनुअल बजट के रूप में हमें पैसे लिया है पार्लियामेंट से, और पार्लियामेंट को फिर कब देना है, ये अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट्स के रूप में हमें देना है. So that appropriation account will clearly give them an idea how much fund we have got from parliament, and जितना हमें खर्च किया है वो juxtaposition में डाल के हमें minor headwise और sub headwise हमें explanation भी देते हैं. So that explanation, audit report and appropriation accounts दोनों ये public accounts committee scrutinize करते हैं. पब्लिक अकाउंट्स कमेटी क्यों स्क्रूटनाइज करना? ये दोनों ऑडिट रिपोर्ट तो ठीक है, क्योंकि हर एक पैरा प्रॉब्लम है तो वो पैरा के रूप में हमारा सीनियर ऑफिसर से उन्हें ओरल एविडेंस लेगा तो दे सकते, उन्हें रिपोर्ट भी बनवा सकते, क्योंकि इतना सारे डिफिशिएंसीज है रेलवे मिनिस्ट्री में ऐसा चल रहा. तो ये सुझाव करने के वास्ते ये इंस्ट्रक्शंस मॉडिफाई करना है, वैसा पीएससी रिकमेंड कर सकते हैं. वो पीएससी का रिकमेंडेशन हमें रिकमेंडेशन ही मानना है, वो तो मैंडेटरी नहीं है. वो पूरे हमारा रेलवे में यूज करने के और रेलवे में इम्प्लीमेंट करने के वास्ते हमें सोचना नहीं. रेलवे मिनिस्ट्री विल थिंक ऑन दैट एंड देन if any instructions to be modified, they will do that. So that is about audit report, and on that, if any report is given by PSC, for that Ministry of Finance, they will examine, and then हमें action taken note audit पैरा को कैसा दे रहा है वैसा ही they will give, Ministry of Railway will give action taken report to the PSC. That is on audit para. Okay, now come to the public appropriation accounts. Appropriation accounts, क्यों PSC scrutinize करना? Because the money was legally available or not. वो check करना. We are spending, but that money, whether it has been legally available to the railway or not. That means, as per 112 of the Constitution, whether we projected them in the budget and we got the money, or supplementary demand के रूप में कुछ, whether we got that way or not, or any reappropriations we have done, whether we have done reappropriations or not properly. All these things for scrutinizing that, and in addition to that, if for a demand as a whole, अगर रेलवे ने ज़्यादा spend किया, तो that has to be regularized, because from Constitution of India we cannot take money, but हो चुके हैं तो क्या करना? तो PAC has to recommend it, CAG has to certify it. Then only the Ministry of Finance, based on our request, Ministry of Finance will propose excess grant, excess demand for excess money. They will be asking, and then they will be giving, they will be taking vote of parliament, and then रेगुलराइजेशन के वास्ते, बस रेगुलराइजेशन के वास्ते पूरा, क्योंकि हमारा फाइनेंशियल ईयर खत्म हो चुके हैं, एंड देन एट द एंड ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल ईयर ओनली वी हैव प्रिपेयर्ड द अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट्स. जो भी खर्च हो चुके हैं वो रेगुलराइज करना है, नहीं तो इट इज नॉट लीगली अवेलेबल. So for that purpose, the PAC will scrutinize our accounts also. तो क्या क्या स्क्रूटनाइज करना, क्या करना, वो पूरे पूरे के पूरे ये C&AG वाले उसको मदद करेगा. So that is why the PAC, they will go through our appropriation accounts as well as our reports. Yes, please.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, how draft para converted into provisional para? Which way?
This, of course, I explained that draft para reply we have given to PDA और Director General of Audit हमारा रेलवे में जो भी है उनको दे चुके हैं. They will examine that our reply also, whether we give reply or we won't give reply also. Suppose अगर नहीं दिए तो railway has not given reply बोल के भी उन्हें कर देता. अगर हमें reply किया तो then they will examine our reply also, and if any inconsistencies are there in their draft para, they will modify the draft para and then they send it to. It will not come to us. It will go directly to DAI.
Okay.
Deputy CI
DI
Railways. So he will scrutinize, and then if they feel that yes, it is a fit case and it can be tabled before Parliament, so therefore what they do is they send it to our railway board as a provisional para, and that provisional para again it will come to railway. जो रेलवे के संबंध है वो रेलवे को उन लोग भिजाते हैं. But that provisional para we should give reply within 2 weeks only. But only difference is here annexures will not be there. But for the reply it is sentence wise, same as draft para, and same as draft para we have to give sentence wise remarks. But only thing is annexures will not be there. That is the only issue. Then.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, suppose they have satisfied, they will not pursue further. इसमें audit draft para, provisional para, उसमें closure का जरूरत नहीं. Closure अगर उन्हें कुछ भी नहीं दिया तो बेहतर. That means they are satisfied with our reply. अगर they are not satisfied, they will escalate from draft para to provisional para and provisional para to audit para. So this is how it will be.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, excuse me. Sir, वो time limit kindly बताइएगा sir. तो अच्छा होगा sir.
ठीक है.
Specifically sir.
Draft para 6 week.
Yes sir.
Provisional para 2 week.
Yes sir.
Then action taken note. जो भी audit para के reply हमें download करके reply देना है वो fixed.
Yes sir.
वो 4 week.
4 weeks. Okay sir.
Okay. Then taken report हमारे की जरूरत नहीं है, वो Ministry of Railways में देखेगा.
Okay sir. Thank you sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome. और any other questions, please?
Sir, when that draft para or provisional para is closed on at the
closure nahi. Thank you.
They will not advise us. So for statistical purposes, the railways will be showing.
Yeah. Thank you. Now, as I said earlier, special letter closure आता है. Part 1 inspection report closure आता है. Part 2 inspection report हमें खुद क्लोज करके एग्जीक्यूटिव को देते हैं. मगर ड्राफ्ट पैरा, प्रोविजनल पैरा, you will not ask closure. What we will be telling them is may not be pursued further. बस उतने. May not be pursued further. That means if they won't pursue further, that means draft para से ज़्यादा अगर we request them not to pursue further draft para को, so if they satisfy with our reply, they will not issue provisional para. That's all. That means you need not worry much about that. That means draft para खत्म हो चुके हैं, बंद हो चुके हैं. Now provisional para हमारा provisional para का reply हमें रेलवे बोर्ड को दिया. रेलवे बोर्ड ने फिर डायरेक्टर DI को भेज दिया. And if they satisfy, they will not issue, or they will, that para will not find place in audit para as an audit report. In the audit report, as the audit para, it will not find place. So if it is not there, then that means the provisional para has been not pursued further. First stage. So just unlike audit objections, in this draft para, that is audit para, draft para, provisional para, audit para mein closure nahi hai. They will not close. Even when I send ATN also, the audit people, DAI, he will see and see thanks. नहीं तो एक एग्जांपल मैं बताया ना, so ये जगह पे ठीक है, आप दूसरा जगह पे रिकवरी करना, वो आप नहीं किया, वैसा बोलते हो. बस no closure as far as draft para, provisional para, or audit para is concerned, because audit para anyhow no closure, because action taken note has to be given.
Sir, previously the time limit was 8 weeks for draft.
वो तो बदल चुके हैं, बहुत सारा चेंज हो चुके हैं, क्योंकि इससे पहले हमें रिप्लाई राइलो बोर्ड को देता था एंड राइलो बोर्ड से जाता, ये तो बहुत पुराने के बात है. अभी ओनली 6 weeks for DP, 2 weeks for PP, and 4 weeks after tabling the audit report in the Parliament. Within 4 weeks, we have to send action taken note. And I am happy to tell you that Railway is doing exceedingly well in this. I have seen the statistics, the reply, whatever draft para reply we have given, it is around 90% draft para we have given replies. Provisional para around 70 to 80% reply before they print in the audit report. We have given reply for provisional para also. And I saw the action taken notes. We have done exceedingly well, immensely. I am pleased. Around 98 or 99% action taken notes we have given. And action taken reports, again, there also we are doing very, very exceedingly well. Because these items are to be dealt at a higher, much higher level. That is because when GM is seeing at PFL level and at zonal level or in railway board level also, they will scrutinize and see that reply is given. नहीं तो जो मौके हमें उन लोग दे दिए हैं, हमें इस्तेमाल नहीं किए. We didn't use that. Suppose in draft para, suppose you are not given reply within the time, automatically they will think that railway has nothing to say, so they will convert it into provisional para. And in provisional para, again, suppose from railway board we have given reply. Suppose from railway board it has not gone. Now what will happen? They will convert automatically without hearing us. They will convert that railway has nothing to say, and they will convert it to audit para. So wherever facilities are there, those facilities we have to utilize effectively to tell our viewpoint. My intention is that we should not lag behind in telling our viewpoint. Whether they will accept it or don't accept it, that is different issue. But without hearing railway, if they go on adding, that is provisional para and audit para, if it is coming, that is very bad. But as I said, our railway is doing exceedingly well. Yes, please.
Sir, this action taken report is after action taken note, we send the report to the Ministry of Railways, or the Ministry of Railway issues this action taken report?
Right. We will now audit para is there. From on audit para, after downloading, it is the zonal railway responsibility to send action taken note. In the pro forma what I have shown, that action taken note we have to send, and that action taken note also, we will not say it is an action taken note, it is a draft action taken note. Because railway board may add something else. So that they will do. So when finally from railway board, if any reply is going, then that is action taken note. So that action taken note will go to DAI and they will examine it. Then there is our action is over. Now by chance, that audit para has been selected by PAC, Public Accounts Committee, then they will take oral evidence from general manager, if it is a compliance audit, or it is a performance audit, they'll take from GM, and at a higher level, at railway board level also, they'll take oral evidence, and then the Public Accounts Committee members, they will prepare a report. There are some 30 or 40 reports they have prepared right from 2011 onwards, and all of them we have replied. There, the reply will be from ministry, not from zonal railways. That means at railway board level, it will be done. And then the report, the action taken report will be given on the report of PAC. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, in brief, theme-based audit, please explain, sir.
Theme-based audit is on the common topic. जो भी पॉलिसी है, पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कैसा हो रहा है रेलवे में, वो पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के वास्ते एक्चुअली इससे पहले परफॉर्मेंस ऑडिट रिपोर्ट करता था. अभी एक थीम लेके वो थीम पूरे के पूरे 17 जोनल रेलवे में कैसा हो रहा, वो स्टडी करने के वास्ते DAI, he will tell the PDS or general PDS or Director General of Audit to go to conduct theme-based audit. That means I already told, suppose cleanliness in workshops or cleanliness in coaches or environmental policy, how we are doing, what are the policy instructions we have got and what we are doing. So all these things they will be asked, that is audit people will be asked to do, and they will do, and then exit conference, entry conference also, just like performance audit they do, and then give report. But they name it as a theme-based report. So that theme-based report, railway board have given categorically instructions that it should be treated as on par with draft para. So draft para कैसा हमें reply करते हैं, वैसा ही theme-based audit also should be replied.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Should I take that there are no further questions? Mani, should we close them?
Any other questions, participants?
Sir, please once more, can you explain the difference between action taken note and action taken report?
Right. Action taken note is the reply of zonal railway to the audit para reflected in audit report of the railway, which is tabled before Parliament. As and when audit report is placed before Parliament, the concerned zonal railway will download it, and then action taken note in a prescribed pro forma for NPS I have shown. So in that pro forma, we have to give reply, and then if any action to be taken, we have to take action, or all those things we will be incorporating. And para-wise, for that audit para-wise remarks also we will enclose, and then that will be sent to railway board. And in railway board, that action taken note, they will scrutinize, and any action to be taken, any further, suppose some scheme has to be shelved based on the audit report, then that action we cannot take, they will take. And then our action taken, draft action taken note, whatever we give reply, we call it as a draft action taken note, and they will modify that. And then finally, this is the reply for that particular audit para, they will be sending as an action taken note. So that action taken note will be scrutinized by audit in the C&AG, in the railway board, that is DAI, they will scrutinize. And then if they feel that yes, our action taken note is fine, generally they say, seen, thanks. Otherwise, just like on NPS, what I have shown, they saw everything. They were happy with our reply. But they said that not only these cases, there are some another cases where 15 lakhs has to be deducted. So please recover from them. That's what they're given. So that it is action taken note. So that action taken note with the after DAI scrutiny, it will come back to the zonal railway and further action will be taken. That is one. Otherwise, no action to be taken, just file it. However, now listen carefully. However, there are umpteen number of paras will be there in the audit report. Suppose one para has been selected, or two paras have been selected, or three paras have been selected. So those paras will be scrutinized by PAC, Public Accounts Committee. Even in selection also, in selecting the topics also, the C&AG people, they will help PAC. So they will scrutinize those, they will select those audit paras and they will examine and they will call for information. They call the oral evidence of the highest officials and then they may make out reports. If any report is made, say on railways, on a particular audit para by PAC, that report will be scrutinized by Ministry of Railways. That means our railway board will scrutinize that, and then if the reply has to be given. Even in that sense also, we are doing exceedingly well. Very well, we are giving reply. So that report, whatever they give, that is called corrective or remedial action taken report. So what is the sum and substance? The ATN is on the audit report, audit para, on the audit para. The action taken report is on the PAC selected item, whatever report they give, on that we give reply, then that is called action taken report. That is remedial or corrective action taken report. आप इतना लिखे तो बस है, एक्शन टेकन नोट के बारे में लिखे तो बस है. Yeah. Any other questions, please?
Any questions, participants? Can we take the session as closed? Okay. Sir, that was a very informative, engrossing and detailed session on audit, sir. On behalf of the Academy, I thank the speaker of the day, C.K. Damodar Prasad, for having shared his knowledge and experience on the subject on this platform. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all. Tomorrow you will be.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, ma. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Tomorrow will be a holiday. Day after tomorrow's topic will be on checks exercised on initial records maintained at executive's office with special reference to contract management, measurement book and contractor's measurement book. The session will start at 11 o'clock. Login time will be from 11:30 to 13 hours. Thank you.
Okay, sir.